Before we move on to part 2 of exploring Windows Vista, I just want to show you some clips that I found when exploring some system files in the folder used for Windows Media Center called eHome in the directory. To locate this, just go to Windows/eHome, and we will just take a quick look at some of the stuff I've got here, and most of it concerns pool. I'm not sure why. I think it was maybe for like some kind of taste kind of thing. I'm not too sure why it is, but some of the acting in this is very, very bad, and it's very creepy. I mean, what are you laughing at? It's not exactly, this isn't funny. This isn't a funny matter. And then if we scroll down, we'll see some even more contents, which is very weird. Positioning, some weird thing. What's this? Positioning. What did that say? Positioning OS 4.3. I don't know, some kind of weird RGB balance. And then sharpness. So yeah, that was something interesting. Shall we get on? Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Exploring Operating Systems. This is probably episode 1, part 2. We're taking a look at Windows Vista, and I am actually going through a very thorough look around this operating system, as you can probably see. And what we're going to take a look at is the setup kind of stuff, the control panel and all sorts, because it's very interesting stuff, I've got to say. So we'll just take a look at this. So we'll take a look at the document stuff right here, and then also notice down here, which I'm pretty sure is actually removed in Windows 7. So if we actually go into the music and all sorts, we can actually see, no, this actually remains on Windows 7, but it's more simplified down here. You can actually expand it like so, which is quite fun. So that's basically a thumbnail of what's going on with the song. And there's many different views you can go for when it comes to the resizing of different icons. Very fun. And then organization, you can change the layout. It's got a preview pan and all sorts. Very, very fun for the Windows Explorer kind of thing. And yeah, this was an astonishing design piece back in the day. We're going to a control panel next. Control panel. So this is control panel as it existed in Windows Vista, and the design for this still remains today in Windows 10. Of course, the control panel I think is just being slowly phased out. But the design is just the same, and you can view it in classic view. I'm not sure, there should be a menu bar somewhere, I'm not too sure where that's went. It could just be, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so you've got this. I'm pretty sure I could probably use a setup option to bring back the menu options right here. So taskbar and start menu, you've got all these basic options right here. Similar in a way to how it looked in the 9X series or a Windows XP. So that's all that. So you've got all the basic options right here. You've got color management, which is probably for the display kind of stuff. This sidebar settings, left, right, and all sorts. You can change the position. So if I apply that, suddenly it's over here, which is quite weird. Put it back here. Sidebar is always on top of other windows, which is kind of weird, but it's actually quite an interesting little design concept. You know, if you just want to see everything right here, if you've got a big enough display, I can kind of see the point of this. But if you've got quite a small laptop, it's probably kind of stupid. Not stupid, but kind of weird and kind of obnoxious. Windows Sideshow. What the heck is that? I'm not too sure what this is actually. Speaking of Sideshow, this actually reminds me of one system you've got. Go Away Contacts. So yes, hello Lindsay, if you're watching this, there's your shout out. But game controllers, which is basically just a little control panel thing for added utilities kind of thing to the operating system. So we've got personalization, which is very simple. Change desktop icons, which you can add as many as you like. Basic options, and now, would you please go away? No, don't close. No, I want you to exit. Thank you. Now, the icons in Windows Vista are mostly the same, and compared to Windows 7 and 8. Of course, the computer icon I think is similar. I'm not too sure at the top of my head right now. I'm probably blanking on that. But of course, the control panel icon is vastly different, and a lot of the Windows Explorer icons are different as well, more distinctive. Of course, I've already mentioned a lot of things are similar, but a lot of things are different in Windows Vista. Of course, you've got a full-on black start menu kind of thing, an almost dark taskbar as well. I was quite confused though. The power button here, of course, in Windows Windows 7, this is just a shutdown button. It even has a shutdown on it, and then you just click on the side here. You've got some more options right here. I was quite confused when I went back to try and test this out. I thought the shutdown button actually put the computer to sleep or hibernate, not actually shut it down, which is a thing that really annoyed me back in the time. I'm pretty sure it's just now a setup option that I maybe set up by mistake and it did that way kind of thing. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was quite interesting to go back into that and realise that it was maybe something I did back in the day, because that was Windows color and appearance. So it's set to Windows Vista Basic. Of course, it is a virtual machine, so it's set itself to the basic standards. But you've got different setup options right here. You've got the classic standard, that is more Windows XP-ish, and then you've got the classic design, which is more on par with Windows 9X. So you've got that kind of slightly darker color scheme right here, but you've not got the other color schemes you used to get in Windows Classic Edition. Color schemes, like going back to Windows 9X, there were a broad scheme of different color schemes you could choose from. Don't exist in Windows XP or above. Quite weird. So you've got Windows Vista Aero, which the same arrow as you see in Windows 7, which is kind of, as I say, redesigned a little bit differently. As I said, to make it more touch friendly, I think. But this is basically Windows Vista in a nutshell. And of course, I think when you go back into that, you can actually change the color schemes. Now, this isn't the same as the Windows 7 version of the design. It's somewhat there, but of course Windows 7 is a step up from this, so we're not really seeing too much. So you can choose from basic colors. You've got like 8 different colors to choose from right here. So you've got default, which I'm not sure, probably like a kind of bluish design. You can't really see it on the taskbar, but it's kind of there. It's still kind of darkish. Frost, which set to hue and all sorts. You can actually morph the colours as well from here. But you've got the more basic options are right here as well. But you can morph the colours if you like, and make it all red and all sorts. Fun, and seizure-inducing colour stuff. But yeah, the options are there. You've got a slight tint on the taskbar right here, and a slight tint in the start menu as well. It's still kind of dark though there. And yeah, this has been updated just a little bit for Windows 7, as I say. So that is some of the setup options right here. We go into desktop backgrounds now. And oh my god, there is a plethora of stuff like this. This wallpaper, actually, I'm going to set it to, what option is this again? Fit to screen. I'm pretty sure there's an option to stretch. I'm not too sure if that's in Windows 7 at all. I'm pretty sure there's a drop down list. But that is some kind of a carousel cart or something like that. Some kind of a ride. Some kind of a cart and a ride kind of thing. Which is, I'm pretty sure this is familiar. I'm pretty sure this is in Windows XP, but I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, you've got some black and white options right here. You've got some nice additional colour schemes and such. So it's all here. Oh, it disappears. But nice stones, probably to try and compete with Mac OS, the stone wallpaper you get in that. Which I've got to say, stone's actually quite a nice little image to have, I've got to say. But Windows Vista traditional background, You've got this little palm leaf, which I really kind of like. And then you've got kind of like scapes of some kind, and you've got fishies, little school of fish. And then you've got landscapes and all sorts. You've got Aurora Borealis, which is quite cute. Quite cute, quite spectacular kind of thing. You've got a Vista again, which is why what is this? Oh, it's a different perspective. And then you've got the Aurora Borealis again. Why? Why is that a thing? It's quite funny though. But some of the same options are there, and you've got a nice little seascape as well. Very nice. Is that a cityscape? Is that the city down there? That's quite nice. A bit of wood. And of course, these are some, I think these are actually, not too sure, sample images, I think, from Windows Vista, which are still exist in Windows 7 in some aspect. And then you've got some very nice abstract images. So you've got some nice shapes and stuff going on right here. This kind of reminds me of Windows 8 for some reason, but I like this. I like that. I'll keep it on this because it seems quite nice to me. So yeah, that's some of the desktop backgrounds you can get, and then you've also got options for pictures you have in your hard drive, sample pictures, which is many of. So you've got this kind of tree, autumn tree kind of thing. Kind of reminds me of the autumn wallpaper from Windows XP, which is all very nice. So the options are welcome. Nice little seascape again with a nice little dock over here. Red flowers. So it's all very nice and spectacular. Pink flowers, very nice. Yeah, I like it. Basically, that's basically what it is. What is this bird called again? What is this again? Toku Tukun. A Toku Tukun. Nice beak. So, a nice treescape and waterscapes and all sorts. Very nice. Now, I'm not too sure if this is just an icy frozen bush or something like that, or if these are genuinely very prickly plants. Wow, my tongue. But I'm not too sure if it's like this because it's frosty, or if it's like that because it's kind of one of those kind of jaggy plants. But you've also got solid colours as well you can choose from, so of course the options are pretty much welcome. Sample images. Very, very nice. So, theme. You can choose from different themes as well. Current theme or Windows Vista style. Which morphs it back to that. Windows Classic. My current theme. So options are all there. Now. Alright. I've already been through that. Screensavers. Let's take a look at some of the screensavers you get on here. So preview. This one is technically just the same that you see from Windows XP, I think. It's not really changed too much. So you've got the same wallpaper right here. Same screensaver right here even. Aurora Borealis. I love this, I've got to say. There seems no settings are available. Blank, which is a very cheap one. I don't know why this exists. The blank screensaver, which is really silly. Bubbles. Most of these screensavers, by the way, still exist in Windows 10 as well. The bubbles, especially. Mystify. And I love this as well. It's very, it's one of those things that you just want to watch for ages because it's just one of those things that looks so therapeutic and all sorts. Photos. So I think this is nabbing some of the sample gallery right here. But I'll just rotate through all those images as well. Ribbons. Another one of those screensavers that you can just sit there and just watch for hours because it's just so interesting to look at. Windows Energy. It's kind of similar in a way to Mystify, and I'm pretty sure the wallpapers change every now and then, like so, like you just saw right here. Very nice. Very, very, very nice to look at. And then Windows logo, which kind of is familiar to the Windows XP version, but as you'll probably soon see, there is some additional changes. There's some different stuff right here. You've got the odd swirl, like you can see right here, and then it bounces back to the Windows Vista logo, like so. But yeah, that's just that, and it's got the same screen right here from Windows XP. So there's not really changed up too much. It's just got a slightly more modern monitor, I think, but the options are still the same. Mouse pointers, all the options are there. Got some very interesting ones which are quite funny to look at. You've got the classic ones, you've got the more Vista friendly ones, Vista Plus ones, and then you've got the Aero ones, and then you've got this wacky looking one, but I'm not sure where this comes from. Nice little cursor right here. Quite interesting. And then you've got the display options and all sorts. What the heck? Why have I got 8 displays? I've only got 2. As I say, options are welcome. But yeah, that's just that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's not really too much I know how to showcase anymore. I'm not too sure what else to show off. Maybe just look at some of the pictures you can choose from for the profile pictures. So there's some. And simple flubber and meow. And that's just some of that. There's not really too much else I know what to showcase right now. Maybe stuff I'm missing. But that's Windows Vista. And I will say right now, it wasn't. I don't think it was personally that bad. I think it was just Microsoft shoving just too much stuff, and I think they were just making it far too. It was basically too new for its time. It was basically just a little bit too modern for its time, is what it is. It was just coming off the cutting edge of Windows Vista, and people were still using computers from the 9X era, or the Windows NT era, and then popping on to Windows XP, which at that time as well was also quite power hungry itself, and then you went to Windows Vista, which is just like, whoa. And then besides just having to upgrade your computer from Windows XP to Windows Vista, you couldn't do it. There was basically just a clash, and then basically a huge massive jump from technology kind of thing you required in order to get Windows Vista, and people hated it for that reason. And I think it was because of that reason, and also because I think pre-Service Pack 2, Windows Vista was what the problem was it was kind of buggy, maybe not too sure, and then maybe some computers didn't handle it too well. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why a lot of people had Windows Vista as the reason to have a bad taste in their mouth. That's the reason why people had a bad taste in their mouth from Windows Vista kind of thing. I don't think it was actually that bad an operating system, and I do want to hear from everyone who's watching this your own personal experiences with Windows Vista, because it is a very diverse experience kind of thing. Everyone's got their own life experiences that they care to share kind of thing, and yeah, I think it's quite interesting. I personally do not think Vista was that bad, and there's only like a set amount of soundscapes you can have, and then this is where Windows started to have the option for the startup sound to not be altered for any reasons, which I'm not sure why that is. Of course, the way the system sounds work in Windows Vista and up is separate from how it worked in Windows XP. If you sign on to a user account, the startup sound would play, but play the startup sound on Windows Vista, and it starts when the login screen starts up. So all these different things that make Windows Vista different from the previous iterations of Windows is quite interesting. But yeah, as I say, I don't see anything wrong with Windows Vista. I think it was in a decade. It was split. We were morphing between the technology at the time to get into much higher spec stuff kind of thing. I think people being forced to move on to Windows Vista, the radical change it went from Windows XP to Windows Vista, the radical change in technology that was required to run the operating system, left a bad taste for everyone in their mouths. And that was the reason why Windows 7 was developed, to try and get off of that bad taste in their mouth. Because Windows 7 simplified the way the operating system looked. No sidebar, but the gadgets still remain, kind of thing. It's quite a deep underpinning for the concept of Windows Vista, and I will say right now, for those that argue about Windows Longhorn and Windows Vista being separate development teams, they're all the same thing. You've got Windows Longhorn, and then you've got Windows Vista. It's still the same development process, it's just that you've got the scrapped Longhorn development process, and then you've got the continued, the reset development kind of thing. Windows Longhorn was still called Windows Longhorn before it transitioned into Windows Vista. Windows Vista was still called Windows Longhorn behind the scenes. It later on became Windows Vista. But it was kind of rushed out the door, because as you may or not know, if you're watching this, I'm pretty certain if you're watching this for the curiosity of Windows Vista, that you may have watched the development process behind it, and it had a bit of a dodgy, kind of like a development hell kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So it had that, and then it had this reset kind of thing, development reset kind of thing that went on. So it's a very interesting history, Windows Vista, and I do see why people hate it, but I don't think it's for the right reason. As I say, it was a little bit too futuristic for its time. It was too. I think it was if Windows Vista was released at the time Windows 7 was released instead, or Windows Vista became Windows 7, people would probably have a different idea of it. If Windows 7 and Windows Vista swapped places, I think people to this very day would probably have a different opinion on it, and probably think it would be their best OS ever. And I will throw some people a bone when it comes to the fact that people hated it maybe when it was first released, but after Service Pack 2 it was still a good operating system to run. But I think it was just all the snazzy features for some people. I think it was just the case that you needed a new computer to run it, because, as I say, the jump in technology that was required to run Windows Vista was insane for some people. People were still running computers designed to run Windows 98 and then Windows NT. So as I say, I'm kind of going through a bit of a kind of repeat, kind of broken record kind of thing right here, but yes, that is Windows Vista. Had a sketchy development history, it had a sketchy life, and it was actually the reason why Windows XP's extended support was actually extended by another 3 years until 2014, because people wanted to try and Microsoft wanted to try and get people onto Windows 7 instead. So yeah, that's Windows Vista. As I say, I don't think it's that bad an operating system. I think it was just too far ahead of its time, and wasn't given a proper chance. But that being said, I want your opinions down below in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this live on the live stream I'm doing on DLive, feel free to let me know through that how you feel about Windows Vista. Yeah, because I'm quite curious by that. But that being said, I'm sorry for the long episode right here, but this is quite a fun exploration kind of thing. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too boring. And with that being said, I am Ricky. Thanks for watching Exploring Operating Systems Part 2. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And with that being said, I will see you next time. Bye. I forgot to mention, this is a feature that is classic when it comes to Windows Vista. The old Flip 3D. Various different versions of Windows since Windows Vista. The Alt-Tab system, which is basically just a simple view right here. You can transition from different windows to the desktop and then to different open windows and all sorts. But what about Flip 3D? How do you do that? It's the Windows key and then Tab. And that's how that works. That is Flip 3D. This feature still exists in Windows 7. It was somewhat dropped in Windows 8 and was brought back as the task view in Windows 10. That is Flip 3D.